Morning, Steve here in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Not a lot of news overnight that is moving prices dramatically. We're kind of fading in the corn, beans, and wheat from our highs. We've got beans and corn now lower by about a few cents, and wheat is about unchanged. I think the first thing that people are looking at, number one, is just what's the USDA going to do next week. Some people say the crop ratings in corn dropped 1 percentage point. They could bring the corn yield below 178, which could bring the carryout from last year below 2 billion. That'll make next year's carryout a little tighter. We're also kind of watching to see as export sales pick up because of the Argentina situation and Brazil running low, and maybe even the Black Sea having less feed grains to ship. And then we have the lower feed grain crop in Europe. So all those things are supportive, except it's tough to rally corn this time of year going into the harvest. As far as the beans are concerned, the Argentina tax situation has beans kind of up in the air as to how competitive they are going to be, what kind of acres they're going to plant, and if that's going to offer any support. Crush data out of the United States suggests that the U.S. should raise the crush by 10 million bushels, and that could lower the carryout a little bit for old crop, but we're still seeing that next year's bean crop could be up a bushel on next week, which could add to the carryout already that's record high. And then over in the wheat, most analysts globally are just kind of giving up on the wheat contract because the data suggests there'll be less exports out of Russia, there'll be less exports out of Europe, there'll be less exports out of Australia. Not sure if that's going to help our export outlook, but it makes world tight, and prices should be a little bit higher in wheat than they are. But right now the funds are reluctant to buy wheat. Gordon made landfill last night. It could move up into parts of the southern Midwest. Look for 3 to 4 inches of rain across parts of Missouri, southern Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio over the next few days. Again, this is a little less than what people had thought and a little bit further south. So some of the wet areas of Iowa and northern Illinois and Wisconsin and southern Minnesota may miss out on these rains, and that might help conditions there. As far as outside markets are concerned, it looks like the stocks are going to be lower again. A little bit of a bounce in the metals, and it looks like the crude oil market right now is a little bit lower, while the U.S. dollar is a little bit higher. So I think in general, traders are on the sideline waiting for markets to kind of settle down a little bit, especially with all the uncertainty in Washington, between Washington and China, and NAFTA, and the White House, and so it makes trade a little uncertain right now. So we'll just see how things want to unfold as we get closer to the USDA crop report next week. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.